Hi, this is Randy Katniss from Katniss & Wells, and today I want to talk about conservatorship or conservatorships. What does that mean? When somebody ages, and they don't necessarily have to be an elderly person, they can be a younger person as well, or somebody with special needs, the court on request will appoint a conservator. What's a conservator? When somebody cannot manage their physical person or their financial affairs, the court has the ability to appoint an independent person, like a neutral conservator or fiduciary or a family member, sometimes more than one person. They can be co-trustees, to manage the affairs of the person and their financial affairs. When the court does this, there's usually a bond that's required to protect that person if the conservator doesn't act properly, and it's a fiduciary relationship. Fiduciary relationship is the highest relationship under the law. It's like an attorney with a client. That means that the conservator must look out for the best interests of the conservatee, which is the person who needs their help. In certain types of litigation, the appointment of a conservator is a strategic decision. What does that mean? Sometimes in a family, you'll have a mother or a father, they're very wealthy, and you have various children in the family who are fighting over property, real estate, personal property, cars, money, whatever you can think of, they're fighting over it, and it's happening while the person is still alive, but they may not have the capacity to understand what's going on. And sometimes what happens is one child versus another child will go to the parent and try to convince them to change their will or their trust to disown other family members. A conservatorship is a way to stop the mayhem or the chaos that's going on in these situations. If the mother or the father or the person that's involved is showing signs of dementia, signs that they don't understand who they are or where they are, signs that they're incapable of managing their affairs. Under the law, you can have the ability to make a will or a trust, but also you could have such limited ability that maybe a conservatorship would be appointed. The reason that as a family member you would move to have a conservator appointed, number one, is for the personal safety and welfare of your mother or your father or your family member. But the second reason is, once a conservatorship or a conservator gets appointed, that person can no longer change their will or their trust. So if you're concerned, let's say you're a family member and you're concerned that your brother or your uncle or somebody's out there manipulating your loved one, and you're worried that they're going to change their estate plan to disown you or others, you can move for a conservatorship, and if the court grants it, once it's granted, that person no longer has control over their will or their trust to change it. That's a very important thing to keep in mind. The other reason you want a conservator many times is for the welfare of your mother or your father. And also with a conservatorship, it cuts off the ability of someone to make a gift. What happens when there's manipulation in an estate context, it's not just the will and the trust when the person dies, but many times they're working on mom and dad during lifetime to have mother or father transfer a car. It could be a home, it could be bank accounts, it could be a lot of different things that they're trying to do while they're still alive. A conservatorship will cut that off. When you bring a conservatorship, usually you can bring it on an emergency basis. The court may issue a temporary order, and then the court will make it a final order. And then once a conservator is appointed, they do have to report to the court on a regular basis, update the court on activity with the person who's the subject of the conservatorship. They can be expensive. Conservators aren't inexpensive, but if you have a fairly significant situation, it does make sense to seek the court order for a conservator. If you got any questions, feel free to call our office. We do offer free consultation. My name is Randy Katniss from Katniss & Wells. You can find us on the web at katnisslaw.com. Thank you for your time.